'cause I don't wanna walk away. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space.
Yo, what is poppin', YouTube fam? This is your boy J Money here. My grandpa finally went home so I can make videos again. Alright. Infernoble Nights, guys. New ban lists. I mean, ban list has dropped, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago already. So the hype has died down and all that. But I'm giving you my take on Infernobles. I was going to do a combo tutorial on how you can still do a 5-card hand loop. Which you still can. I'm still going to do that, but I'm going to do 3 combos, one being, of course, hand loop itself, one being just a very, very simplified game state, what you can do, and some kind of more of the mid-range stuff. So 3 combos in total. Now, I know a lot of you guys really love, like, so let's say Pat's channel, Aether Gaming, Jared, his channel, shouts to him, even though, he's got a smaller channel, so, but more eyes are on him, He knows what he's doing when it comes to Infernobles as well. MST.TVs. So and even Shuping's Lab. That's not the actual channel's name. I'd have to figure out what that name is. But anyway, all these folks do all kinds of Infernoble stuff. Cody Angeloff, I don't know what his channel is. Somebody linked the channel name to me, but all these players have been really, really pushing it for Infernobles, as do I want to as well. And now, granted, I haven't spent as much time into these people. However, do remember, I've played combo decks religiously for the past 3 years, so it is very easy for me to pick this deck up. Unlike some other players, it's very easy for me to pick up combo, which I have. And again, I still have 5-card hand loops, even post ban list, even post Olion ban, and all that stuff. Deck's still very resilient, and I will show you the game plan when we head on to the deck profile. So, let's go. Alrighty, folks, let's get this bad boy started with the best card in the entire deck, Neo Space Connector. That is right, guys. Yes, well, we all know this is a known fact. But some of you out there are still convinced that Sublimation Knight is the best because it's a Fire Warrior and it can't get ashed. However, because Sublimation Knight cannot get ashed, that means they can save it for your Isolde. So that is something you don't want. In all instances where you can force hand traps out of the opponent's hand before you commit to your Isolde is always preferred. Period, point blank. And of course, our connector isn't complete without our one dolphin. So, but anyway, here we go. Renaud. Renaud's pretty good. Some would say he's even the best card in the deck, but honestly, I think connector is because it starts everything up, it gets hand knowledge, and it rips hand traps. But Renaud has all kinds of utility going with it. Just being able to add equipped spells from the grave to the hand. Contributes to hand loops. So there's that. Making itself a level 1 tuner is also vital, and it's especially needed for, Hyper Librarian combos. Hint, hint, we're still playing them. Oliver, I really love this card. So, a lot of combos now, a lot of the combos I play out personally are playing Oliver. So, a lot of the combos I'm playing out in terms of Isolde, like the target I'm normally summoning now with Isolde is Oliver more times than not. Unless I actually have Renaud in hand, then that can definitely be negotiable. But Oliver is pretty nice. I feel like Oliver is a little bit more reliable than Renaud, simply for the fact that you can almost drop him out of the hand at any time, and you kind of don't need to rely upon having that Fire Warrior. And even if you don't have any equips, you can just generate one with Phoenix Blade. So there's that. And he's the fact that he's always a tuner, the fact that he's a tuner in the graveyard for Martial Metal Marcher, that actually comes up a few times when you get these like wonky setups and you're in a simplified game saying you need to try to maximize as much levels as possible. Oliver is there for you, so it's pretty good. God Phoenix Gearfried though. If you are not playing 3 God Phoenix Gearfrieds, I don't know what you're doing. Like, dropping this bad boy ASAP is especially with all the hand traps. People are still playing upwards of 12 to 15 hand traps, man. It's crazy. It's insane. Like, this card, just even the follow-ups, man, it gets you there. Even if you're going second, just opening this card and just dropping it when all the negates have been baited out, and you just drop this, bombshell your opponent, and just swing the game in your favor. It's so good. There's no reason not to play this card. I'd sooner bought my deck count up by 2 more counts just to play more Gear Freeds. Man, it's so good. One Astafolo or Astolfo, I don't know how you pronounce it. This card is still good. It allows you to play a grind game. The level modulation does come up sometimes. Again, it's in those like weird niche scenarios, simplified game states, all that. And at worst, it's just another fire extender. It's a level 1 extender, you know, at worst to, you know, synchro climb and things like that. So not too much to say there, I guess. 3 Fluent Ladies. So people have been really all over the place with this card. I've seen people play 1, I've seen people play 2, but honestly, man, Fire Fluent Lady for me is still kind of a 3 of. Just because it's so good. It's a really good extender. If you open Dolphin, this basically drops it from the hand. So with 3 Flint Ladies, I don't have to commit to the normal summon of Dolphin. I could just drop any other normal summon and special the Flint Lady and then summon the Dolphin from hand. Still get the hand knowledge before making the Isolde. It's so good. It's so good. Just summoning connectors. Like mid combo, if I get into more connectors because I'm drawing, I'll just drop Flint Lady, summon connector, summon back Dolphin, and rip more cards. Like there's so many situations that come up with Flint Lady, early game and mid game, that just make it to where it's just like, why are you not playing 3? Ogier, I totally forgot about this card. It depending on what kind of build you're playing, depends on if you're playing 1 or 3. Honestly, I've seen like a couple builds I play 2. It's kind of weird. I feel like this is a 1 of or a 3 of. I feel like you either want to see Ogier and Renaud as often as possible, or you don't. Or you just want it because it's an option and it's a name that you can equip from the deck with Charles or whatnot. I've opened it a couple times, and every time I've opened it, I've had access to Renaud, so, you know, it wasn't bad. There's not too much to say there. I mean, God Phoenix Gear Freak fam. Alright, 2 red layers. I've honestly debated on playing 3. Because I want... as long as people continue to play Gamma, you always want that, you know, the ability to threaten Gamma before the Isolde comes out. Because if you just start with Connector and Dolphin and you have no other way to put something a little bit beefy on the board, even if you use Dolphin Effect, they're just going to keep the Gamma in their hand. So, honestly, I have been debating on a 3rd red layer. I am playing 2 Spell Strikers. Shoutouts to Jared for this one. Spell Striker was like stupid good last format. Last format he was really good. You know, when Lion was still in the game and the Violent Spheres were still, you know, viable. Spell Strikers was like the stones. Like, this card was so good. But now it's still good, but it doesn't feel as high impact as it was. You know, it was the fact that it was a warrior and it was a level 3 that can just drop to the board at any time just made it really good. And it was always there for you with those Captain Roland plays. You know, sinking the Captain Roland into a Omega or a Savage Dragon. Sinking like the Striker and the Renaud into an Arclight. Like, there's so many just amazing interactions that Spell Striker had that made it really good. They came up all the time, but now, like, those situations do kind of come up, but you have new combos and stuff now, you know what I mean? Okay, instead of Lava Lance Lord, we're playing Gilliga Lancer. Why? Because you don't need the fire part. Like, you really don't need it. It's a fire warrior. The only reason a Fire Warrior would even matter in the graveyard is for Astolfo. And you're hardly level modulating nowadays. I mean, maybe. It just depends on the build you're playing. But This is a Cyber Dragon, and it's a level 6 warrior, so it accomplishes the same purpose, but it actually does something in the hand. And guess what? It's 2200, so it can trade with Winda, which is very, very important because Dragma is a pretty tough matchup because of that one card, Winda. Next, we got tuners. We have Plague Spreader Zombie. I don't know where my ultimate is. I will find it. We are specifically playing Gemba for the hand loop combo. You can't play TG Striker with it. The fact that it's Fire Warrior, is the only reason we're doing it. Is to where it comes up. But other than that, it's still good. You summon it with a Zold. If you have Spell Strike in your hand, you have Captain Roland plays and all that stuff too. If you don't want to go like crazy combos, if you want to just go bread and butter, that's fine. But other than that, if I'm not doing hand loop combos and stuff, honestly, I would cut that and just play TG Striker instead. And for our other last tuner, our Mecha Phantom Beast Warbler. This deck doesn't have any really. I focus on minimizing the bricks. This originally wasn't in here until I found out I could still hand loop for 5. So if you're not interested in playing hand loops and crazy draw combos, you can cut Gemba. You can cut Gemba and just play these two. You can just play those two tuners and get away with it. You don't have to play 001. You do not have to play Cult Wing. And I will get into that in combos later on, next video. Alright. That's it for the monster, guys. Spells. 3 Durandal. So, what? 1 Rhoda, 2 Rhoda, 3 Rhodas, 4 Rhodas, 5 Rhodas, 6 Rhodas, and 7 Rhodas. 7 Rhodas, guys. Why not? More search power, more consistency. Not too much to say there. Really not. Except that Durandal, where is it at? There it is. Allows you to play a grind game. You get Durandal to your hand, or keep it in your hand, like for Renaud, and let's say they out your Charles, you can literally just, send the equip monster to the graveyard while it's still equipped and just bring out the Charles back. So, a lot of you probably know that already, though. 3 Eagle Boosters. This is how you protect your Zold. Period point blank. Or your Needle Fiber if they Nibiru you and you're in a simplified game state. So there's really not much to say there. We were always playing Eagle Booster anyway over Call by the Grave. Why? Because Imperm and Gamma are the most they're the most commonly played hand traps right now. They're the most represented hand traps. All of which Call by the Grave didn't even hit in the first place. So yeah. Next we have, 3 DDRs. Honestly, this card is just bonkers because of the fact that you're playing Phoenix Blade. You can search it and just, it's an extender. Like, you're banishing for a Stolfo. You're always gonna have banish cards. Like, if you're needing cards at hand, you just Phoenix Blade to your hand. It's so free. You don't want to open more than one, but again, it's fine. So the other quips. Phoenix Blade, of course Living Fossil, and obviously you need to be playing Smoke Grenade of the Thief. Even if this card gets banned, you can still hand loop your opponent for 4 cards. Like what this combo I'm going to show you come next video, even if this got banned, you can still loop your opponent for 4 cards, man. Like, that's still insane. So go ahead, guys, ban this card. I'm still going to be ripping your hand apart, so, ain't nothing gonna save you from this ass whooping. Let's get it. Midbreaker Field. If you're not playing this card, I don't know what you're doing. There's too many hand traps. Period point blank, and honestly, it's so free. Just 1 Reborn. We need the extenders because, yeah. And reasoning. Alright, this is it for the main deck. So, the strategy behind this, the game plan of this deck, how it should be, is you should be able to reliably see 4 monsters, as in what I mean by see 4 monsters, being able to put 4 monsters onto the board at all times, with most of your opening hands. If you are able to open up a random hand and have 4 bodies being able to put on the board, then you're in a good spot. You should win every single time. That is how this works. This is how you play through 2-3 hand traps a piece. You're not playing hand traps because it doesn't contribute. And if you're getting hand trapped to death, that hand trap could have been the one additional extender you need to just essentially keep going. So, again, the game plan is see 4 bodies and you win. Period, point blank. I mean, this is good, but no connector. But again, if you can see 4 bodies, let's say I go bam, bam, special, no normal summon committed, and I go Isolde. Gamma, sure, man. Make another Isolde. That's how this works. You're gonna win. And if they, and you got this, you got gear free, like, you're good. Oh, man. And if they ask that, just make needle fiber and keep going. Just quick stuff. But anyway, extra deck, guys. Let's go. Let's get it. Best card in the extra deck, Isolde. What will this deck be without its own in-theme needle fiber, man? Hey, look. At least it's in its own archetype. Link Cross, Needle Fiber, crazy combos, we love them. They're self-explanatory. Auroradon is also self-explanatory. When you're not playing Access Code Talker, you do not need that card. If you are able to go into Access Code Talker, in theory, you should already be winning the game. So, utilize that extra deck space for more utility and stuff like that instead, especially when you're getting hand trapped and, stuff like that. So, anyway. Your best synchro is Charles because, Charles that can't be destroyed by card effects or be targeted and can also pop stuff as a quick effect and can also equip things, from the grave and from the deck each end phase, being a smoke grenade and stuff. Just like this is a very, very good all-around card, and the fact that it's extremely generic makes it even better. Captain Roland, the captain of them all. It's really good. Like, if you're gonna make Charles, you better make this. Like, there's no way I'm making Charles and not making this. Even in a simplified game state, if I can't go into anything else, I'm making these 2. Period, point blank. It is Infernobles after all. These set you up for future turns. Formula Synchron, Martial Metal Marcher, and Tatsunoko. Formula is being played because we're still playing TD Hyper Librarian, we can still draw 5 to 6 cards easily in this deck. It's so free. It's so good. If your opponent just says go nuts, then whew, you're gonna have a good time. Period. Point blank. All right. Tatsunoko is for the Charles, by the way. The Gilligal Answer is the card you are still searching with Isolde and all that, so it makes sense. Power Tool Dragon, guys. You don't need 2, you just need 1. Again, you're going for hand loops and stuff. And if your opponent hand traps you to death, you're not going to loop your opponent that much. I mean, your opponent does have to work for you with the hand traps they're discarding. So, yeah, it's good. Let's see, your interruptions, you got your Herald of the Arclight, your Savage Dragon, and the card I typically go into more than Savage, being Omega. And the reason why I go into Omega more than I do Savage, again, it's, outside of just the hand looping aspect of it, there's something about Omega that he's always reliable. He's the most reliable one of them all because, let's say you go first and you're unable to hand loop your opponent completely, and your opponent's able to play and break your board, this card can always keep himself out of danger. In a sense. So if, they do manage to break your board, the Omega comes back and you can likely run over the threat unless it's a Dragoon. And all that. So whatever that your opponent puts up after breaking your board, this is safe. That's coming back. You get to set up stuff. You can probably put back banish like Plague Spreaders and stuff during the semi-phase with Omega. It's just a good time all around regardless. So that's it for the extra. Alright guys, I hope you guys really enjoyed that deck profile. Be sure to let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. Main deck, extra deck, or even side deck. And I'll gladly get to you guys in the comments. Also, be sure to share this video to the other channels I had mentioned at the start of this video. Pack, Jared, A3 Gaming, all that, so I can get their thoughts, because I'm still a small channel. So with that being said, guys, I'm counting on you. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps me out. I want to hit 3,000 before the end of the year. And I'm pretty sure we can do it. I just got to stay consistent. But anyway, guys, combo tutorials, 3 combos coming up next. So, thank you guys so much for watching. This is J Money, and I am signing.